Looking for wild food here. Can you see that pink purple flower out there? Where is it? There it is. That's Salsify. It's from North Africa. And it's wild all over Australia. I think it's been introduced all over the world. It used to be an ornamental flower, but it's also a well-known vegetable. Salsify, learn to recognize it. It has an edible root that tastes just like oyster. It's also known as oyster vegetable. Pretty pink purple flower, isn't it? Let's go and have a close-up in a minute. It's windy, isn't it, this morning? What am I doing up so early anyway? I think I've come to see the Salsify because it closes up later in the day, I think. Having a closer look at Salsify. I did a little research on the internet yesterday. Of course, I've known it for years. I've seen it in herbal books and wild food books. It's the young roots can be grated. So first of all, it's got an edible root, and the young roots can be grated and eaten raw. The older roots can be cooked, and it's known as vegetable oyster. The root has an oyster taste. I've tried these wild ones before, but they're often so woody. They're not like those grown in a vegetable garden. The flowers can be eaten in salads, so that's handy to know. Immediately we can eat that flower, can't we? The flowering shoots, this part can be used like asparagus, raw or cooked, so we could eat that raw or cooked, but I think it's a little bit late to eat that one because it's now turning into seed. So that could be an asparagus equivalent. Also, the seeds in there, once they mature, those seeds can be sprouted, and they can be used in like lucerne sprouts as in sandwiches or salads. So it's a member of the daisy family, Compositae. So it's related to daisies. It's got those petals like a daisy, and it's also related to, let's see here, it's related to, where are you? Come on, come into view. It's related to cat's ears and dandelions and things. The Salsify has some milk. If you pull off a Salsify leaf or break the Salsify stem, you'll find some milk. If you pluck a dandelion or a cat's ear like this, you'll find a little milk too. Apparently the milky latex can be used to make a sort of chewing gum. I've never tried that though. There's the seed head. Let's pluck a leaf from lower down and see if it gives off some milk. There it is, it's making milk. See the milk coming out? Let's see. Is it bleeding milk? Can we see if it's bleeding milk? Yeah, I do have some latex. It's not going to bleed for me, just when I want it to bleed. They do bleed. I do bleed latex. Come on, bleed. It's not just the roots that can be used as a vegetable. The young shoots can be used as a vegetable. So there's a young shoot there with a young flower head coming up. That can be used as a vegetable. Of course, as I said, the root has that oyster flavour. Hence its name, vegetable oyster. This is just growing in the field. I can't see any others at all. It's just growing on its own. I'm going to recognise it anyway. Salsify. That's what it looks like. It's a beautiful flower. It's a bit like a dandelion, isn't it? It is. So it's a biennial. Biennials usually live to 2 years. Usually. Isn't it gorgeous? You can see it where it was grown as an ornamental, can't you? It's supposed to have some herbal properties. Like dandelion, it's a diuretic, so just like dandelions can make you wet the bed, or if you drink a lot of dandelion coffee you'll whittle more. You might, I suppose, whittle a bit more if you eat a lot of salsify. Just as well I got up this early, because had I come later it would have been closed. Is that purple or pink? It looks purple now, doesn't it, in this light? So what's the botanical Latin for this? Tragopogon porrifolius. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Tragopogon porrifolius. I wonder what that means. I should look it up, shouldn't I? Tragopogon porrifolius. Beautiful little thing. Let's have a look at the blood. I can't really go without making sure you see it bleed. It bleeds latex, just like a dandelion. So it does bleed a bit of latex. I don't really want to pluck the flower just to show you, because then I don't really want to tamper with that little plant, do I? There's some latex. So take my word for it, when you pluck it, the flower will bleed just like a dandelion. The stem, I mean. Seems to be less milk coming from this. Seems to be less milk coming from this leaf. It's hard to focus in the bright glare too. Exude for us, come on, exude for us. Pluck it again. Can you see milk? Probably not. Starting to close up in the bright sunlight. Look, just during the course of filming, it's starting to close up. I forgot to mention that Salsify too, being close relatives of the dandelion, this is a cat's ear type dandelion here. Salsify too make a sort of dandelion clock with lots of fluff. So salsify you can do this with too, and you can spread salsify all over the place just by blowing the clock that comes with the salsify when the seed head is ripe. You can do that, it's lots of fun with salsify, just like dandelions. Listen to that wind. And there's the last picture of the Salsify closing up. I suppose it'll be a dandelion clock in a day or so. Probably tomorrow it will look like this one, and the day after it will be a clock to blow the thistle down everywhere. Yes, that's why they bleed. They're all closely related to thistles, aren't they? And dandelions and daisies and things. Oh, and I almost forgot. I'm no wild food expert or bush tucker expert, so remember to always consult a botanist and a toxicologist before ingesting any wild foods that you might see. Always see a toxicologist and a medical expert first.